What's up, everybody? Justin here. Got a quick little segment tonight, 5-minute favorites. This is a band. I'm not going to talk about just one release. I'm going to talk about the band as a whole as being a favorite. They have a very, very small discography, so it kind of falls into 5-minute favorites. This band, a lot of you may not know them. They came and went pretty quickly. They didn't get a lot of coverage or a lot of fanfare, but they are called The Year of Our Lord. The Year of Our Lord was a melodic death metal band from New England that formed in the mid-90s, late 90s, and they existed 4 or 5 years, broke up. So when I was 16, they played in my town, and I had never heard of them, didn't know anything about them. They played there twice. They did 2 East Coast tours, and I missed them the first time, saw them the second time, because everybody was like, Justin, you've got to see this band, you'll love them. I was the metal kid in the punk rock scene where I was from, and they're like, oh, they're a metal band, you'll love them. So I go and see them the second time they played, and they play really melodic, fast, kind of European death metal. Big Dissection vibe, Big In Flames vibe, but just really succinct, no filler to their songs, lots of riffs, but none of it is generic. None of it was too blatantly, they didn't rip off other bands, and they were just light years ahead of the scene that exploded doing what they did a couple of years later. So I saw The Year of Our Lord in a little bitty club, and I'm from a town called Valdosta, Georgia, a little town in South Georgia, and we had a club there in the late 90s where hardcore metal and punk bands would play. So I see them, and when I saw them that night, I bought this 7-inch. The Frozen Divide 7-inch. This is black vinyl. It's got a card insert here with lyrics. The band self-released this. Or no, Dopamine Records. I don't know who Dopamine Records was. 3 songs. So, I can't tell you how many times I listened to this when I was a teenager. And I recorded it to a cassette tape, and I used to listen to it in my... I didn't have a tape deck in my car, but when I was in high school, I delivered flowers for a florist. And I would listen to the 3 songs on this on that cassette tape in that floral van over and over and over. And I'm pretty sure that when I quit working there, I left it in the van. So someone had a nice surprise when they got in the van after me. So that's their 7-inch, Year of Our Lord 7-inch. Now, their first release was a split with another Massachusetts band called 40 Days Rain. The split had 2 songs on it. So this 7-inch has 3 songs. They re-released it on CD, I think around the same time. They came out together. And the CD version has the 2 songs plus an intro that were on the split with 40 Days Rain. So I've never picked up a copy of that split. If I ever see it somewhere, I'm going to snag it. But I know the 2 songs on it backwards and forwards. So these 2. Then... So I start following The Year of Our Lord. I fucking loved them that night. They were great. They just, it really resonated with me. And I was 16 or 17 the time they played there, and I saw them. Because I was still in high school, still cutting my teeth on a lot of metal and getting into the underground metal scene. I hadn't seen many metal bands live at that point, especially not in my hometown where I had to drive anywhere. So I start following them. And one thing cool about The Year of Our Lord back in the day is they had a website. And I would check their website for updates all the time. And on the bio page on their website, each member listed their favorite show that The Year of Our Lord had ever played. And 3 of the 5 members said that the favorite place they ever played was our little town, our little club in Boston. So that was really cool. So cut to 2001, they put out a full length. This is their self-titled full length. Came out on Willowtip Records. And they, in the collage picture here, that marquee sign is our club in Valdosta. So I thought that was cool. There's a little throwback, a little nod to us. So this is their full length. Came out in 2001. I followed the progress of them writing and recording this via their website for a long, long time. Somewhere in the middle there, they did a European tour. Only time they ever went overseas. To the best of my knowledge, they played the East Coast a couple of times, doing different tours, and they did one European tour, and they played local shows. So the self-title is one of my favorite releases of all time. It's one of the most underrated melodic death metal albums ever. If you like Dissection or Dark Tranquility or At the Gates or Sacramentum or it's not super melodic. It's not the chunky, gallopy, Slaughter of the Soul type stuff. It's a little darker, but with lots of identity, and the songs are real sing-along, and you got a lot going on, a lot to follow. I know every word to this album. Every song: Dead to You, Fire Skates the Water, Womb Disease, Rust and Ashes, Gons of Astria. Just killer, just classic songs one after the other for a band that nobody knows. So they did this, they put out their full length, they broke up. Then 2006 or 7, somewhere in there, they got back together, they recorded 2 new songs, and they put out this compilation called Dead to You. This is everything they ever recorded. It's a double disc, so there's 2 CDs. This also came out on Willow Tip, and I believe, to the best of my knowledge, it's still available on their website. It's not hard to find. So the first CD is the full length, remastered, and it sounds great. My only complaint for this record was always the recording. They recorded it with Steve Austin from Today Is the Day, and I never liked the production. I didn't dislike the production, but it could have had a better production, especially for this type of music. And then disc 2 is this material plus not 2 new songs, 4 new songs. So there's 4 latter day Year of Our Lord songs that fall right in with the rest of the discography. But I've got it playing now, so if you like what you hear, check them out. If you like kind of dissection-y melodic death metal, check them out. They're really unique. Just so many riffs, and it's so catchy, but it's still kind of fucking evil sounding. This is a great melodic death metal band. If they ever get back together, I will fly anywhere to see them again. I will make it fucking happen. But Year of Our Lord, this is your best bet to pick up Dead to You, full discography. Check them out. Talk to you later.